So this is one of my favorite parts of my workspace because these are some that I always revisit, especially because I'm an author and I do a lot of reading, not because I write, but because I'm generally a curious person. So my genres really vary from fiction to non-fiction, self-help. It depends on my mood. And I have a lot of instructional books also because that's the genre that I write mostly in. So these ones are actually not books. They're a pile of notebooks that I'm currently using. So just to give you an idea, this one is my week's planner. It's like a personal planner. This one is my morning pages. So if you're not familiar with morning pages, it's like a prompt to write every morning. But since I can't do it every morning, I try to write as often as I can. So they're basically like a brain dump of things that I feel. So I still have a lot of feelings, so I try to write them as often as I can. I also have this notebook for my talks. So usually when I come up with talks or give talks at conferences, they all start off as drafts here before I transfer them. These 2 rows of books are some of the books that I constantly use. I'm gonna pick out some of my favorites. I'm actually part of this calendar. It's by Workman Publishing in New York. So this is my page. It says "Don't be an idiot," which is really true. It's like tough love, like rendered in a very fancy way. I am so freaking over it. This is my favorite book because I love Peter Pan. I love Mina Lima Design Studio, aka the people who designed this book. And I love Peter Pan so much that I bought this book. And well, the artworks are really lovely. I really am a fan of vintage style art. That's why I really like this, and I knew I had to get a copy. It's also one of my favorites. I love Andy Warhol. So this is like an illustrated account of his life and how he ventured into becoming an artist. I will show you this one. It's called Rubbish. It's a famzine, which is family magazine from Singapore. It's created by a family and it's basically their personal account of how their family is, and I really love it because there are a lot of like clipped pages as well, and it's just really rustic, and I like anything film, so this is really something I like using as visual reference. I'm such a fan of John Green, so I got a copy of Turtles All the Way Down. I already finished this last October last year, but yeah, it's always been here because sometimes if I want to reread a few copies of my books, I just go to my shelf and get it. It's one of my favorite books on creative self-help, so it's quite dirty already. Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. So it's something that I constantly read if I feel like I need some ideas and inspiration, because it's all about showcasing your work and making sure you're getting your message out there as an artist. I have a sunflower. It's not real. It's fake. So my mom was out shopping and she saw this on sale at like a furniture store, and she said, you know, I could use it for my flat lays. But anyway, right now it's just trying to get some sun, but it doesn't really need one. Here at the bottom, it's quite messy. I have a lot of unfinished business here. I have some magazines that were where I was featured, and then I also have some of my books, old notebooks, work notebooks. I used to have a day job, so some of my stuff are here. And then this bag is my magazine bag. So sometimes I put them here because the others are not mine. Like I borrowed some from a friend. So I like to read a lot of magazines. This is Flow. I also read Uppercase, like what I mentioned in my reading pile. And this is one of my favorites. It's called The Great Discontent. It features interviews of different artists and creatives. If you noticed, I like storing my things in bins. I think it keeps them more organized that way. And since I don't have a lot of cabinets, this is how I try to be organized. So this bin is from Miniso. It was given to me. I store most of my journaling tools here. I love collecting boxes of different kinds. And true story, I went to Budapest and we were in the airport and I saw this box and I didn't really care what was inside. I just bought it. These are actually crackers inside, and then I finished it, of course, and gave it to friends, and I have my things here. So I also have my New York postcards, which I haven't used because I just can't afford to use them. I also have some containers here which I find pretty interesting. This one is a container for my ephemera. So that it's all in an envelope. I mean, how cool is that? Every time I try to pull out stuff for my flat lace, I just go to this. I just open this and find all of my things. I also collect stamps, so thanks to my friends for giving me stamps. This one is my very messy sticker album. I still am organizing some of them. It's just hard to fix them because not everything, they're not all in the same size, so it's kind of hard to store them properly. I also am a big aficionado of Ziplocs. So I found these in Japan. They're like airport style Ziplocs, like inspired by airport designs. This one was from my recent trip. So I try to store everything properly in one place, just so next time I have to get stuff out, it's easier to locate them. So this is another set of books that I read. So I'm currently working on a new book. So usually I have like a pile of the things that I'm currently reading in relation to whatever title I'm working on. So it's this one. I was going to show you one of my favorites. This one was recommended by a friend. It's called The Shape of Ideas. It's by Grant Snyder. And I bookmarked basically all of the pages, and it features a lot of comics about different facets of creativity and basically the process of being a creative person. So I really love it. I also have like a basket here for current journals I'm using. This one is actually a work in progress journal featuring currently my 2018 and a few snippets of my year. This one is my quote-unquote New York notebook. So I do all my budgeting here for my upcoming trip to New York. I have some of my essentials. I'm going somewhere in the coming week, so I've packed everything here just so they're easy to get. I also have a Polaroid printer. It's pretty easy to use and it's also helpful for my journaling. I love collecting miniatures of things like this one, a post box, the Big Ben, of course the Empire State. This one is from Sweden. It's the red horse, and I of course have the Eiffel Tower. And here at the back is my other reading pile. So this one it changes every so often. Like now it's more travel themed. Like I have travel guides to New York and Berlin, two of my favorite places. I also have this one, this very popular Wreck This journal. I got the colored one. I'm going to bring this to my future trips so that I can use it and finally wreck it. I also this is the only one that I've kept so far. So every time I have book signings or events, I have a nameplate on my table, and this was the recent one that I had. So I used to keep everything every year, but now I've cleaned out some of my things, so I've kept this one, and I love the color. It's in Gen Z yellow. So this is the main workspace. It's actually just a long table, but it's also good and bad at the same time because the good part is I can work whatever I want, but the bad part is I tend to put so much things here that there are some days that I don't really get to work because of it. So right now it's in a very calm state, but usually when I do my deadlines, I have a lot of papers up. I have a pile of things that I have to finish, lots of USB chargers and whatever wires that I have to fix here. So basically every morning when I wake up, I just do a quick meditation, have breakfast, and then I go straight to my analog table. So I keep all of my tasks organized in my bullet journal. I try to keep them here because I don't want to forget anything, and in case I need some reference, I always check this one.